of these. Is that better now? Okay. All right, so we're going to do things a little bit different. Today's worship is designed to be intergenerational as well as interactive, and you get to choose exactly how you want to engage in worship. All right? So you can choose to be a donkey, you can choose to be an ox, or you can choose to be neither. It's completely up to you. Now, if you want to be a donkey, you have a headband and you have ears. All right? If you want to be a donkey, some of our youth in the back have some supplies for you they're going to hand out. You'll need 2 red triangles and a headband and some tape. If you want to be an ox, something like that. Now, if you would like to do that, let me show you how to make those things. So you need a couple of things. You need some tape. Let's do the donkey first. You need 2 ears. Where did those headbands go? Here they are. And to make the donkey ears, it's pretty simple, really. You take a piece of tape, and you take your headband, and you put one piece of tape right there. You do the same thing on the other side. Get that piece. Let's get this done here. And then you've got the donkey, right? Real easy to do. Anybody want donkey ears? All right, we got some. Reed, come on and get them. You can come up here and get them. Anybody else want donkey ears that have been pre-made? All right, come on, Reed. Now, if you want to be an ox,
thank you.
There you go. Go share those with somebody else. All right, if you want to be an ox, you take one piece of paper and you roll it up. Y'all can go ahead and pass them out. Y'all just raise your hands if you want to make one of these. Look, they got them all back there. And then you take a piece of tape and you tape it together on that roll like thus. And you do the same thing, but you tape it around the headband on the front. So put a little piece of tape right there, a little piece of tape right there, and look. You're an ox. Anybody want to be an ox? All right, so here's the next part. If you want to be a donkey or an ox, but you don't want to make horns and you don't want to make ears, it's really simple. When we tell the story, any oxes? When we tell the story, I heard ox somewhere. When we tell the story, if you're going to be a donkey, every time you hear the word donkey, you say what a donkey says. You say, hee-haw, right? Hee-haw. Very good. If you want to be an ox, you make the sound of the oxen that are lowing. Every time you hear the word ox. Now, you'll notice that today's bulletin, you might need tape. I have tape if you need it. Today's bulletin is essentially mostly carols with little sections in between. So in between the carols, I will be telling the story of the donkey and the ox, and we will then sing carols that go along with the story of the donkey and the ox. And all of this came from a minister by the name of Teresa Cho. She is a PCUSA pastor out in the Bay Area in California, and she adapted it from a book called The Ox and the Donkey by Gunter Spring. If you want to know more about it, I'll be glad to give you more information. Is that as clear as it could possibly be? And, of course, the third option is to just be here and worship, join us in the songs, and enjoy the story of the donkey and the ox. Now, some announcements as y'all are making your supplies ready. First of all, today being December 31st, I have to remind you, our treasurer has asked us, I'm sure, to remind you that if there is a year-end contribution that you would like to make that needs to be credited to 2023, we need to get that today. This is the last day of the year. As we look forward in worship, next Sunday we will be installing a new class of elders. So if you would like to be with us to support that, please do be with us. On January 14th, we will have our annual congregational meeting. And if you look in the bulletin, the call for that congregational meeting is on the inside of your bulletin. Not only does it meet the requirements for our annual meeting, it's also to give you all an update from my sabbatical committee. You'll get the financial report from our treasurer, Kay Holzenbach. We will elect 3 new members of the nominating committee for 2024. So that is our nominating committee to nominate those who would serve on session the following year. So if you want to be a part of that, please be ready for that on the 14th. And then to recognize the service of our outgoing class of elders, to explain the transition of the word trustee in our bulletin. We'll talk about that on the 14th. And the changes in call for me, and also any other church business that needs to be attended to. 2 more announcements that have to do with the youth. One, youth meets again on January 14th. So not this Sunday, next Sunday, but on the 14th is when youth meets for the first time in 2024. And then SHISE, the high school retreat that will be at Austin College for senior high youth. That is January 26th to 28th. And if any of the senior highs would like to participate in that, registration is due by the 10th of January. So please talk to Miranda about that. Okay. It's a lot of information. You think you're ready to give this a try? That's what I like to hear. Please join me in our call to worship. There is good news. Our Savior is born. Please stand and join in O Come, All Ye Faithful, verses 1, 3, and 4. at the inn in Bethlehem lived an ox. In the stable at the inn in Bethlehem lived an ox. And a donkey. The stable was cold and drafty and sometimes wet for the roof leaked. The ox was rude and unfriendly. Whenever the donkey wanted to snuggle up to him for warmth, the ox gave him a shove with the horns. And at the mealtimes, the ox was so greedy that there was hardly any hay left for the donkey to eat. The ox grew fatter and fatter, but the donkey became skinnier and skinnier. Whenever the innkeeper went to the market, the donkey had to pull the heavy cart because the ox was so wild that no one could control him. It was a hard life for the donkey, and he was sad most of the time. Let's stand and sing hymn number 132, Good Christian Friends Rejoice.